Well, guys, there was a little bit of chaos and controversy in the Japanese Grand Prix. I'm going to be doing some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the race yet and you don't know what the situation is, then pause this video and don't forget to subscribe so you know it's still around, and then come back after you've seen the race. But I'm going to be doing some spoilers. Okay, so it was a controversial race. Firstly, the weather was atrocious, absolutely awful weather, and as you can probably imagine, it's been doing it for the whole of the weekend, and it didn't let up at all on race day. The rain was torrential, and it led to a huge delay at the beginning of the race. And a lot of people, including myself, thought that perhaps it shouldn't have been run at all, because at the end they only managed to complete 28 laps with time running out. So by the time the 2 hours was up, it was only able to do 28 laps, which seemed to be ridiculous to me. However, that aside, it was also dangerous. I mean, there were a number of incidents going on during the race that were very, very worrying, shall we say, from a safety point of view. But at the end of the day, the man was crowned champion for the second time. Yes, he was. Max Verstappen got the championship in the bag with a handful of races still to go. Now, of course, it's very difficult to say from from this standpoint, how difficult the driving must have been, but it must have been a horrendous drive. And I think that from Matt Verstappen point of view, he drove it really well. I thought he had a great control of the car. He was lapping Leclerc. He was faster than Leclerc and things like that. And it wasn't until Leclerc made a bit of a hash of the chicane that he actually became the winner, because it was that hash that he made of the chicane that led to a 5 point or 5 second penalty, which put him down to third place instead of second, which was then enough points for Max Verstappen to win. He didn't realise he'd won at first, and because obviously the FIA had changed the rules on the points awarded when races aren't completed, but of course because it was completed, it just didn't have the full number of laps. Then they got full points, and Verstappen won the championship. So it was a bit of a hash job. It wasn't very clear. Wasn't the best race in the world, but it got the job done for Max Verstappen and Red Bull, and they were able now to go ahead and probably relax a little bit, although I'm sure they won't for the rest of the races still to come. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the race. Do you think the race should have gone ahead at all, or do you think they should have called it off and perhaps just abandoned the whole race until next time? I realise it's a big logistical nightmare to do something like that, but you have to wait and see what your thoughts are on that as well, and whether you think that Max Verstappen earned the win, or whether other things just were in his favour. Let me know in the comments what you think.